Good morning and welcome in to the Kaplan J. Hood Morning Show on ESPN 1000 and streaming on the ESPN Chicago app with David Kaplan and Jonathan Hood with you. Now time for Shot or No Shot, and it's brought to you by...
That'd be ESPN Bet. Johnny, now live in Illinois. Sign up today. New users get $100 in bonus bets with any sportsbook bet. We say good morning to in for Shea W. Norling, who has the day off. We've got little Jack in the front seat driving the car. Hey, Jack.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Oh, we're going good, man.
That's good to hear. All right, so we talked about the Cubs starting rotation. The ERA right now for the starters ranks 4th in Major League Baseball. Steele's coming back tonight. With Justin Steele back in the rotation, shot or no shot, the Cubs have the very best starting rotation in Major League Baseball.
Oh, boy. The way they're throwing right now, that's a shot. Now, is that sustainable? Now, if you tell me Cade Horton, who's, as I said, number 2 ranked pitching prospect in all of baseball and has already vacated his spot on the Tennessee Smokies roster, he's at AAA. If he gets here and he's who they think he is, like a top-of-the-rotation type guy, yeah, that's a shot. That's a shot.
I think they could be. I would say there's no shot now. It starts with the Braves. I thought the Diamondbacks are in there as well. I think Seattle's in there as well. I think that the Cubs can be. As soon as they clear the smoke of all this, like who is going to be the rotation, I think they can be. Because I'm a Imanaga. I have Imanaga in the All-Star game like today.
He's really good. He'll pitch in this series against San Diego. I would have agreed with you on the Braves until Spencer Strider blew out his elbow.
Yeah.
And once they lost him for the year, I can't put the Braves there. If he was there, he was their ace.
Yes.
He's really, really good. So I will say the Cubs have a shot to be there. Absolutely.
You seen the old Sox Ray Lopez lately? It's amazing when you have offense. Ronaldo Lopez.
Yeah.
Pretty good kid.
Pretty good kid.
He's been around the big leagues now since the White Sox. He's been in a couple of spots.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you change uniforms. You get with a winning ball club. All of a sudden,
the whole mentality of your going to work changes.
Yeah. All right. What else do we have, Jack?
All right, so there was an article in The Athletic this weekend about a potential new television home for the Sox, Hawks, and Bulls. And to clarify, this is not the network stadium, which is owned by Jerry Reinsdorf, but instead, The Athletic reports that Standard Media Group is in partnership with the teams. Standard Media Group is based in Nashville. Shot or no shot, this should make some Sox fans more concerned about the team leaving for Nashville.
For me, that's a no shot. Hoodie may have an entirely different perspective. I believe there is still a tie between Standard Media Group and Stadium. But Stadium is got a tie to different advertisers, like gambling advertiser, that Standard Media does not. But I do think there will be some type of a mesh point for these two organizations to come together to put together a really good network for the White Sox, Bulls, and Blackhawks. It's unfortunate that NBC Sports Chicago couldn't get a deal done because they got some amazing, amazing people that work there. Amazing. And I thought they did a great job.
First of all, I'm just surprised that Standard Gas, after all these years, have gotten into the media business. I mean, a reliable gas station. You remember that back in the day, Cap. Going to Standard there. All right, fill them up.
That's BP Amoco now. There's no relation.
They changed your oil. I enjoy going to Standard now. Much cheaper gas than you get everywhere else. I mean, listen, nothing against 76 and some of these other places. And
they're gone.
Sinclair.
Those are all gone. It's BP Amoco. There was a merger.
Huh?
Standard Media has nothing to do with the gas company.
I didn't hear you. What do you say? Standard Gas. You remember it, right?
I do.
Blue and red.
Yeah.
You go there, bam, they change your oil.
They're done.
What?
They merged 20 years ago with BP Amoco. They have no relation to Standard Media. None. Just happen to have the same name.
They change your oil. You remember this, right?
That's 25 years ago when they did that.
Hang on a second. You don't know what's going on. Folks, let me tell you about Standard. And they're going to be a partner with us here at ESPN 1000 pretty soon. We're talking about
they're not in business anymore. They're gone.
What do you mean? They've got a media conglomerate now. That's how successful they've been.
Different company. All right,
anyway, don't listen to him. Listen, you talk about a place that would clean your windshield.
Jack, cut this guy off.
Here's a guy here. I mean,
doesn't exist. All that nonsense back in the day, you pull your car in.
Nonsense, is that what you call it?
Yeah, and then they would wipe your windows down. Can I check the oil? Can I check your tires? No, that's not happening anymore. That's called Jiffy Lube.
Damn.
Don't think you're right about that, but just because you say it loudly doesn't mean it's right.
I'm acting like Yerk.
All I'm telling you is that with this deal with the White Sox, boy, it just shows you, Cap, where the media business is going, because this has been a hot rumor for a long time about the White Sox, the Blackhawks, White Sox, Blackhawks, and the
Bulls.
And the Bulls. Forget about them sometimes. Those three teams, right?
A lot of fans did too.
Cap. Hey, man, I know the business changes a lot. I just wonder about NBC Sports Chicago, a place that you worked for a long time.
I did.
About the people that work there behind the scenes.
Yeah, I feel badly for those are some of my dearest friends, whether it's front-facing guys like Pat Boyle and Chuck Garfien and Ozzie and others, or all the people behind the scenes who make that place what it is, an awesome place to work. Disappointing.
I guess when it comes to the media business, especially if you're a fan watching and consuming your favorite teams, the one thing that's always consistent is change.
Correct.
I never thought that we'd never see anything else. We would always see Cubs games on Channel 9. And, of course, that changed. I always thought that the Sox will always be on Comcast, Sportsnet, Sports Vision, Channel 44. And, of course, those things change. So as we move forward, it's just change. I just feel badly for the people there because where there's smoke, there's fire. This is the second time we've seen this written in the Sun-Times. So if it's written for a second time, it seems likely that is going to happen.
Yes.
Surprise, surprise.
And then what happens to the consumer? They have to pay for an extra tier? Is this part of your basic cable? That's all have to be worked out.
Correct.
Ugh.
Yeah, disappointing for all those people at NBC. Now we'll see. I trust that they will put a good product on wherever this thing goes. I'm going to watch the games, but we'll see.
All right, Jack.
There was an article in the Sun-Times this weekend by Daryl Van Schouwen that said the White Sox should completely blow it up. That includes Garrett Crochet and Luis Robert, who both have long-term deals still. Shot or no shot, Garrett Crochet and Luis Robert are both traded with multiple years of team control.
Tap out.
Wow. I'm going to say no shot because you don't have Robert back yet. He's got to prove he's healthy. He's 25, turning 26. Garrett Crochet, why would I? I'm trying to find more Garrett Crochets. So I'm going to say no shot. Neither guy gets moved. Other people, yes.
Especially Robert being the cornerstone of the franchise. I mean, he's the guy. If everyone's expendable, Jack, then where are the White Sox going? You have to start someplace. Listen, it's not like we've never seen teams blow up before. We've seen this before. We've seen teams say, okay, we're going to just rip it down to the studs. But even when they do that, there's someone that's still a part of the franchise, a pitcher, a bat, something. But I just don't see if the White Sox strip it all the way down where they say, yeah, Crochet, we can get something for him and get something for Aloy, we'll get something for Andrew Vaughn. If you're going to do that, then where do you start? You must have a starting point.
Does it start with Colson Montgomery all the way down in the minors? Do you go all the way there? Because Robert has 3 more years left on his deal, and then they have to pay him. Will the Sox be willing to pay Luis Robert when he hits that?
That's 3 years. Why am I trading him now?
Is there window in 3 years? In the next 3 years?
It is not. But you have to start someplace, though. To have just minor league talent across the board or scrap heap guys. Would you tell me earlier, Cap? I mean, people are interested in Tommy Pham?
Correct.
Tommy Pham.
They said, Nightingale said he's your most likely all-star representative because everybody gets one.
How sad is that, though? He just got with the ball club. Paul DeYoung, I've never seen an offseason leading into spring training, Jack, in which you're not sure what your rotation was going to be. It was all the way up to the end of the spring training where you had 3 stars you knew of. And all right, who else is there? Hey, is Clevenger around? Has anyone picked him up? Put him on the ball club. That's desperation. That's sad. That's sad when you do that. And so, look, I've seen bad teams before, but when you're just trying to cobble together a roster just to be able to have enough players on your roster to compete, that's not good at all.
Agreed.
And if you're going to strip it down, man, that ain't Chicago White Sox baseball. That's more like some minor league outfit. That's really disappointing.
And you mentioned the Sox hold a team option for 26 and 27 at $20 million. Why would you trade that guy now? There's no reason. No, I would not.
I would not either. I don't know what they're thinking up there.
It's not like he's making $48 million a year here. This year, his salary is 8.3. That's nothing in baseball parlance. Nothing.
Let me just tell you that I know that some people listening right now, they're saying, well, Ryan Poles stripped this down to almost the studs to be able to build it up to where it is. Let me just tell you something. The general manager in place right now in Chris Getz is not Ryan Poles. He's just not. I don't think that's what that is. And it's harder in baseball to be able to wheel and deal, to have those kind of moves to make yourself on the precipice of being a contender. He's not that.
Well, but it's also different in baseball. You could, first of all, because of these collective bargaining rules, you're not picking any higher than 10th, even though you had a bad season.
Yeah.
But it takes time for guys to develop. You don't just draft Caleb Williams in Major League Baseball and he's your best player or your star or your face of your team or whatever you want to call him. It takes time. And if you take a high school kid, he's 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Draft a 17-year-old kid. You just got to keep throwing money at international signings and draft picks and whatever it is, make some astute trades and hopefully get the thing competent enough that you can get some decent free agents. But upper management has to be willing to spend on it, too. There's only 2 teams that have never spent minimum of $100 million on a particular player. That would be the Oakland A's and the White Sox. That's it.
That's right.
It's got to change.
And somehow, some way, the A's are just a game under 500 coming into this week's games. How?
Yeah, they do a good job in draft and development. They've got a really good closer. They've got some solid pitching. Paul Blackburn, former Cub, who Theo drafted in 2012, is pitching at an all-star level and has been an all-star for them. They've got some decent players there. Their closer, Mason Miller, legit.
And then when they get to the All-Star break and they get to the deadline, we're going to rip the Band-Aid off.
Right.
Goodbye. Trade them all.
Trade them all. Until they can move to Sacramento for 3 years, then to Vegas. I mean, they're a train wreck, too, as a franchise.
Right here on the home of the White Sox, ESPN 1000. All right, coming up, we will give you Around the NFL. We'll hear from Courtney Cronin with the latest on the Bears in the NFL at 8:35. All part of the mix on the Cap and J. Hood Morning Show.